Let's get us recorded. Hi, good morning. The first Friday of January, 2020. And I'm here today to bring you some information from my Friday planning series. And I decided that what better place to start your 2020 with your goals and giving you some tips around that. Now, most of you know I come to you on Fridays and I bring a mug, and this mug is very dear and special to my heart today. And the reason being is that over the New Year's Day, we had some friends over, the Kenyans, and they brought me a mug to use on my Friday planning series. And here's that mug. There it is. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. So how perfect is that for 2020? Pushing and stretching ourselves, our goals, to get us to the next level in where we want to be in our life, our business, our career. Now, it sounds kind of daunting, doesn't it? Like, okay, Pam, you want me to pick a goal. You want me to stretch that goal. You want me to visualize being there. You want me to create an action plan around it. But where do I start is the question I get a lot of times. Where do I start to get that going? So I thought today would be a perfect time to come to you with some information around of where you need to start to set that goal and the tips and the mindset that might be helpful in order for you to reach those goals, okay? So let's get started. Looking for my glasses. Okay, here we go. So, goals. What are you going to do about them? You know, this time of year, a lot of us set resolutions. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to do more in my business. I'm going to go for a walk every day. I'm going to read. All of these different resolutions that we set. And one of the reasons why the resolutions have a hard time sticking is because we don't know how we feel around what we're choosing to say. We're just choosing something that we think we need or want. But without that actual feeling that we're assigning to it, not only the feeling of the accomplishment that we will have when we reach that, but the feeling that we'll have during the process in owning all those little wins along the way, along that resolution. So that's the first thing I want you to think about. I want you to think about is when you choose this goal, decide on why it's important to you. What makes that goal so important to you? That's the first thing. And attach that feeling to it. Right? Like really sit down and journal or brain dump around that particular idea. Why does that goal keep on coming up? Because sometimes a goal will keep on coming up, but we don't reach it. And then we have to take a step back and say, why didn't we reach that? Or why do I keep on thinking I want that? And do I really want it? Identifying that will help you decide if it's something that you truly want, or is it something that came to mind a while ago and you like the idea, but you didn't really own it, okay? So decide on the goal that fits you. Once you decide on that goal, what are you going to do to get there? How are you going to reach that goal? What do you have to do on a daily basis to get there? That's your next question. Once you decide what the goal is and how you're going to get there, I want you to say it publicly. I want you to share it with somebody that'll help you stay accountable during that process. Journaling it, brain dumping, writing it down, and it's for you is a great thing. But our brain has the tendency that if we're feeling a little uncomfortable, we could justify why we want to change that information that we want, that we thought we wanted. So find somebody that you want to share it with and go public. Then before you go public or after you go public, set a date. Set a date when you want that to specifically happen. When we show up and we're generic in someday I want to go on a cruise, someday I want to buy that new car, right? When we do that someday, or I would like to reach a certain amount of revenue in my business. But if we don't have a date that we want to reach that to, then it's harder to set the goals, the plan of action to get to that goal. So set a date. And then I think this is one of the most important things. How will you celebrate when you reach it? Not only will you celebrate because you've achieved what you set out to do, but what is going to be that reward because you did what you said you were going to do and what you wanted to do? Set that celebration. So important. Now, when we go through, and I'm just going to go back over these few very quickly. So, because I think it's really, really important to figure out what these pieces are. And going out to my website at powerful-purpose.com/resources, you could actually download your roadmap to sanity, okay? Your roadmap to sanity will help you identify what those goals are that you need and that you want. And it puts them in one place. So I'm going to go ahead and put that link here. If I could say. So this way you could go ahead and get your roadmap to sanity, okay? Because then you'd put that power word in the middle that's going to anchor those goals. And then you have your different areas of the one goal that you want to reach inside one of those areas. And that could be monthly, quarterly, 6 months, a year, whatever it is, just write the date of when you want that to happen, okay? It just gives you a visual tool of utilizing to see it all. So decide on what goal is important to you, attach a feeling to it of why it's important to you. Then decide how you're going to get there, create that action plan, speak it out, make it public, set a date when you want to arrive there, and then how are you going to celebrate all that greatness? Now, some of these interesting things as I was researching some more topics and ideas around setting goals in your mindset. One idea that came up, and it's interesting, there's a few of them on this list that I got. And 2 of them I already do personally, and one of them with my clients. And that's setting 10-minute time blocks, right? Time blocking is a beautiful way to be focused on what your goal is and what you want to get done in that period of time. I set usually 10-minute time blocks. So if something looks like it's going to be 30 minutes for me to complete it, I'll set 3 10-minute time blocks, and I'll actually do separate 10 minutes so I could see and gauge how long that goal takes me to get there. So if I have to do that again, then I'm able to know that I need to set 30 minutes aside to get that particular thing done. And that's helpful in planning out for your week ahead, right? So time blocking, really, really important and beneficial to getting things done. 10-minute time blocks. The other thing is that use a stand-up desk. Now, I've been using a stand-up desk for quite a few years, and actually mine was a treadmill desk. And recently, we just moved the treadmill desk upstairs in our workout room so I could have some movement while I'm up there. And in my office, I'm just using a stand-up desk. And yesterday was really my first day of using my full stand-up desk. Before, I had a habit of leaning a little bit, right? Because it was higher. So I was able to lean. But yesterday I stood up straight all day at my desk, and I actually feel it this morning in my muscles. So it's a great way to stay focused on your body and your posture, which helps with the momentum in your mind, the creativity, because you're standing tall and you're not just at your desk slouching and writing down. So if you have the ability to get a stand-up desk, I would totally suggest you do that. The treadmill desk is awesome too, because you could walk at a slow pace on that. The reason why we moved the treadmill desk upstairs, as a side note, is my husband's office is below mine. So it was kind of noisy when I was using the treadmill, since we're both working from home now. So I have one. And while I was looking, I found out that Thomas Jefferson actually used a stand-up desk. Creativity and power, stand-up desk. Great idea in getting your mindset ready for these goals that you want. And the other thing is another really great tip, and there's a lot of tips out there, but this is a great tip, is shut your monitors and your devices off while you're writing, okay? Let's eliminate the distractions. When we get distracted, we end up getting kind of in a procrastination on the task that we have in mind. So shutting down your screens, shutting off your notifications, and just focus on your writing. Writing whatever it needs to be. Maybe you write a blog, or maybe you do emails or journaling or anything along those lines, or you're writing a book. Shut the monitors off so you're not distracted, and just focus on that. So with these goals, we have to create a habit. And a lot of times people say it takes 21 or 28 days to create a habit. And the reason why is because of the consistency. But if we don't, and if we're being consistent on something, but we're not actually training our brain on the mindset to stay in that pattern, it'll be easy for it to get distracted. So even after 28 days, if you're doing something, if we're not working on the mindset around why we're doing that 29th day or that 50th day or whatever, we could have a circumstance that comes into our lives and it throws us off. So holidays is a perfect example. You say you're eating really well and exercising, and then the holidays come in and all this other food comes out that isn't normally in your day because you choose for it not to be in your daily. Or you go to the gym on the days that those holidays are, and all of a sudden everything gets thrown off. The consistency is gone for those few weeks. And I don't know about you, but I know that if my consistency is off, it may take me a little bit of time to get back on that routine, only when my mindset isn't around of how important it truly is, okay? So think about that. Consistency is what really matters. And in order to be consistent, we need to have the mindset to know that that's truly what we want and what we need, okay? So consistency really, really matters. Hi, Carol. And those were the tips that I was giving you today. So I'm going to run through them real quick one more time. The tips are: set a timer for your 10-minute increments, because it's really important to time block and stay focused on what you need to get done. That's number one. That's one of the tips. Number two, if you don't have a stand-up desk, definitely think about getting one, because it is amazing how productive you are during your day when you're standing all day and you're not sitting at a desk, okay? It really, and I had mentioned that actually Thomas Jefferson Thank you. Yes, the timer really, it's awesome. It works for sure. It keeps you focused because your brain could think in those small little increments. Okay, I'm going to do this for 10 minutes. I'm going to do this for 30 minutes. So it's really awesome. It does really work. And Thomas Jefferson actually used a stand-up desk. And it's just amazing how much gets done. And I love mine. I love it. Shutting all your devices and your monitors off when you're writing, you're planning, you're brain dumping, doing anything along those lines that you want to not be distracted by other things, okay? And then creating a habit of consistency. And if we change our mindset around that habit that we're trying to create and not just doing it on a regular basis, but actually talking to ourselves of why that habit is important to us, then the consistency will be easy for us to continue, okay? So those are the tips on staying focused on your goals. And I'll go ahead and post out this information for you to get. Feel free to, like I said, go out to my website at powerful-purpose.com/resources. And on that resources page, you'll get the roadmap to sanity. And also, if you would like my 6 tips to creating goals that stick, go ahead to powerful-purpose.com/goal. And that will help you get started on that. And this is it for now. I just wanted to come in quickly. I was on Monday, but I wanted to make sure Monday. Yes, Monday. This week has been a little screwy, right? With the holiday in the middle of the week. Today is Friday, so I wanted to make sure I came on today for the Friday planning series to give you a few tips to get you started on your goal setting if you haven't already started that. I'm available for any questions. Just feel free to ask. And don't forget, find a mug that speaks to you. This way, it's another way to keep yourself grounded during those busy times of your day. Until next time, this is Pam Drzwicki. I'm a productivity coach, and I'm honored and blessed that you're here, and I want you to have a dynamite weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.